Hi, my name is Deborah Haney. I'm the Superintendent of Catholic Schools for the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston. And I thought I would take a few minutes today to share with you the plans that we have with our Catholic schools for how we're addressing the COVID-19 crisis that currently exists in our communities. I wanted to first say thank you to our principals and our teachers for the extraordinary amounts of work that they're doing to come up with alternative learning plans for our students. It takes a lot of extra work to make that happen, and I'm very, very grateful for their creativity and ingenuity and working with our students to continue the instructional process. And to our students, I want to say thank you to those of you that have sent videos to your principals of the cool things you're doing while you are off. I've had videos sent to me about people that are practicing the Passion Play, doing the Stations of the Cross, and students that are praying the Angelus at noon and doing activities in your own homes and sending those to your principals for us to see. It really is inspiring to us because we're able to see the work you're doing at home, and it just really makes our day. All of us get into this business of education for students and to make a difference in the lives of children. And so to have your videos coming to us to show us the things that you're doing makes all of this worth it. And we miss you in our schools, and we hope you know that. So parents, the rest of this video is going to kind of be directed towards you. So I just ask that students can certainly watch it, that's not a problem, but parents, just know that the rest of this is for you. So I want you to just share with you a few plans that we have going on with our principals and with our schools, so that you are aware of what's happening from the Archdiocesan perspective. So first, we have closed all schools until April 10th. And that was a decision that was made with Cardinal through the guidance of the CDC and in collaboration with the local school districts. So we will be closed through April 10th. So we plan to start school back on April 13th. Even if you had Easter Monday holiday, you are starting back on the 13th at this time. That could certainly change depending upon the local news, the number of cases that happen in our area, and guidance from the CDC, and maybe some decisions that are made by the mayor or the governor. So keep posted with news from your school and from our Archdiocese about the extension of closures as we move forward. We also need to share with you some of the instructional plans that we have and the communication plan that we have. So all schools have been asked to check in with students every single day so that we are aware that they are attending school from home, knowing that they are getting what they need instructionally and academically so that they can continue to learn, and also checking in on their mental and emotional well-being. This is a stressful time with anxiety levels that have heightened, and so we want to make sure that we're checking in on our students and making sure that they have what they need to be successful in their homes. One of the things that we've asked our principals to make sure that they do is share with you any resources that they have, and we've provided some to them as well, and there are some on our website about reaching out for emotional support. So parents, we know that this is also a trying time for you, and there's all kinds of resources out there to help support both you and your children during this time that might be extra stressful. So you can be certain to check our website and look at those resources. Pay attention to what your school is sending you so that you can have those resources and use them to support you in your efforts. With our instructional plan, we have had to come up with a high-tech plan and a low-tech plan. So the high-tech plan is certainly an all e-learning process where schools are using devices and learning platforms to share instruction with students. Some are using RenWeb Fax, some are using other Google Classrooms. They're using a variety of things in the different schools depending upon what they had available to them. Some parents don't have access to e-learning, and so we are also creating a low-tech version that parents can utilize to support their students in their learning. Schools are making packets available to parents. Some schools are having parents pick them up. Some schools are sending them via email. It is up to the principal on how they're handling that on their individual campus. So please know that whatever your capabilities are in terms of technology or not with technology, we do have resources for your children to continue their instructional learning plan. I do hope that you understand that this is a transition time. So giving us some flexibility as we learn. We're all learning in this together. Every day is a learning experience for us because we have new challenges that are given to us, or we have new questions that we haven't thought about that come up. And so we're all adjusting and making decisions and trying to be as flexible and creative as we possibly can to try to find solutions. So we appreciate your patience with us as we make adjustments to our plans, as we really look at the robustness of what we're offering and how we can continue to ensure that the rigor of our curriculum and the experience for children is as uninterrupted as it possibly can be as we move forward. So thank you for being patient with us during this time. We also think it's important that everybody understands that we're going to make mistakes, right? We're going to make mistakes and we're going to have to learn from them and grow. And our children are going to make mistakes. They might make a mistake in getting assignments turned in. And we all have to be flexible and forgiving in that. And we want to thank you for extending that to us. We've received some calls concerned about why some employees are going up to campuses. And I just want to address that part. It's all in order to support your children. So whether it be providing packets for them or trying to get additional resources for their lesson plans or be able to create lessons that will help enhance what they're already doing. Sometimes teachers had to go to school because they didn't realize we were going to be gone for as long as we may be gone, and so they have to go and get those resources. We have been following CDC guidelines asking principals to have more than 10 people gathered in one space at one time. So they may be dividing up into different classrooms, and so that's why they've had to go, is to help support our children and our families during this time. We also have some parents who are having to go up to pick up medications or pay tuition or whatever the plan may be, and someone has to be at the school in order to receive those families. So just know that we would never intentionally put someone at risk or do something to hurt them, but rather we are trying to follow all of the right guidelines to support our children and our families. We also have had some calls about tuition, so I want to address that. Please know that we are expecting parents to continue to pay tuition because we are continuing to provide instructional resources and educational opportunities for children. You know, we're still providing instruction, and so we therefore still collect tuition. So if for whatever reason you've lost a job or you're struggling with paying tuition, please contact your principal. We are committed to keeping all of our students in our schools because we know that during this time of transition and this time of uncertainty, the ability to be able to have the continuity and consistency from their school is critical for our children. They have been through a lot of trauma. Hurricane Harvey, the floods last year, now this. And the more continuity and the more routine that we can give to them, the more supportive we are to them. So it is important that we stay connected, that they have the community that they're familiar with and the routine that they're familiar with available to them. And so please, if you are having a difficulty paying tuition, I ask that you contact your principal and let them know. And thank you to those families who, if they can and they have the means to, are willing to make donations to support those who are struggling, because we have had some very generous people help us in that regard. For instructional purposes, families, I really hope that you've set aside a dedicated space in your home where your children can set up for learning, and that's their space for learning, that know that they need to have about 4 hours worth of learning every day, whether it be learning from the instruction their teacher is providing, working on activities, praying, doing virtual field trips. They need to have some type of 4-hour learning period every single day. So hopefully you can make sure that they have a schedule, certainly giving them breaks in between to make sure that they have a little brain break every once in a while is also important. So we thank you, parents, for partnering with us and helping us during this time where instruction is looking very different than any of us have ever experienced before. As families, I hope you are taking this time to be doing diligent about providing faith formation for your children and listening to the expectations we have to take Lent and use that to build our spiritual formation and to grow closer as a family and to grow closer in faith. You know, our Pope calls us to help our neighbor and to pray the rosary and to really focus on what's important. And we know that faith and family are the most important things to us. and that's we're being given this opportunity to focus on those things right now. So I hope that you are taking time as a family to pray, taking time with your children to let them teach you a little bit too about the importance of prayer and about the importance of relying on our faith during times of struggle. If we model this behavior for our children, and we model the positivity that can come from seeing, there's always a silver lining, and if we can model that for our children, I think that's really important. That Christian behavior and that modeling of how we respond to things is really critical, and so thank you for recognizing that and being that for your children. I would also ask that you monitor your children and their online behavior. So now is a time when social predators or people who unfortunately will hurt children, they kind of come out of the woodwork right now. And so it's our responsibility as parents to be very mindful of what our children are doing online, who they're talking to, making sure that we know all of the people that they're talking to online, all their social connections. Certainly we want to have physical distancing and still have that social interaction with our peers. And I just ask you parents to be very aware of what's happening on their devices and to monitor that very closely, because it can be a little scary out there in these uncertain times. So know that we're here to support you with that as well, if at all possible. And if you need help with that, that's fine. So know that we are here for you. Our schools are here for you. We are happy to help in any way that we can. Know that we should keep our expectations high for our kids, keep routine as consistent as possible, and know that we are checking in daily with you, that we need to wash our hands and say our prayers, because germs and Jesus are everywhere. And so we thank you from the Archdiocese of Galveston-Houston for all that you do and for all of your support, and know that we are here for you. And may God bless you during this time of uncertainty, and that we can join together in prayer for the future and the unknown. So thank you for your time today, and know that you should always choose Catholic schools.